Well, everybody, I am on. It's a little bit before 10. So if you are out there, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment that you're joining us this morning for our coffee and chat. I'm trying to get things set up. My assistant is not here this morning. Um, oh, she's online though. So isn't she wonderful? Right on time. I have my coffee in my Philmont Scout Ranch cup that Noah brought back when he went there. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to get logged on. I think we're going to kind of walk through our new catalog today. It's hard. I can't look at the camera and look at my comments and stuff. So if I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at my computer to watch the comments. I've heard some pros and cons about the new catalog, and I want to have everybody's input on what they think about the catalog. I personally think that it's really nice. I like the layout of it. Yes, Dorothy and Daisy are waiting. Dorothy's getting an oil change this morning. So I am still very, very disappointed that Stampin' Write had to go away. But if you have one, don't stop using it because it is a magnificent tool. So I'm hoping that some more would join us this morning. I do have an answer and a little good morning, Beverly. How are you? I'm so glad that you joined us today. I'm looking forward to our chit chat when this is over with so that I can find out exactly what type of cards you would like. I am very sorry for the loss of your friend. That is very sad. And then your friend's son, who is going to be going through surgery and having some medical issues. That is always tough. So, but I did have a question the last time we met a couple weeks ago about the Stampin' Write markers. So I'm going to show you just some simple things that you can do with these. These are not the alcohol-based markers. They're the ink-based. So they can be used on your rubber stamps. Alcohol markers, the Stampin' Blends, however, do not, and I repeat, do not use those on your stamps to color with. Ask me how I know. I didn't do it personally, but my daughter Dorothy did, and it didn't work out so good. So, so Beverly, do you have any questions? I know that you're, hello, Cherie. I know, Beverly, that you are more into scrapbooking, but you can kind of combine the two crafts. You'll hear the dogs barking because my husband just showed back up. He's got things, many things to do today. He's got a convention for the cooties. It's a long story. I can't even explain it, but it's a group within the VFW that they go to the nursing homes and they visit veterans and they dress crazy. I mean, red socks, red shoes, white pants, red shirt, and this silly looking hat that has tassels hanging off the side. So it's quite funny to see him in his uniform for the cooties. So he has that going on this morning. So anyway, so Cherie, any questions? You and Beverly are on this morning. I'm hoping for a few more that might join us. I know that Pat's busy. She is in the organizing mode of her stamp room, and so she is diligently trying to organize everything so that she can start doing some other things. So anyway, that's what she's doing. Okay, so you would like to know what the tool is that I use to pick up stickers. Are you talking about the Take Your Pick tool? Oops, I just dropped something off my desk. I'll have to pick it up. So this is the Take Your Pick tool. It has a putty end. I'm not sure, but it's got little putty in there. And when it comes out, I just kind of pull it out so that it's just right there on the tip. And then it has the pokey tip and a spatula tip that is flat so that you can pick things up. So this tool is in my studio a must-have. In fact, I have two of them. I will let you know that sometimes these ends, because of how I switch them and use them all the time, they do come loose. So I've kind of designated one as the spatula and one as the pointy pick tool. And then I've glued them in my barrel so that they don't come out. I need to use some different super glue, but that's the Take Your Pick tool. So Cherie, what did you think about the masculine card ideas I gave last week on Thursday that you won those cards? What did you think about those ideas? Did that help you get some juices flowing? I'm looking, oh, I know what I dropped. I dropped my glasses. I know that masculine cards are really hard, but they don't have to be extravagant. And that's one good thing is we don't have to use a lot of embellishments. I personally wish that Stampin' Up! Would come out with some more masculine sets. I'm sad that they're taking away the Lighthouse set that they just had in the catalog. I thought it was a fabulous set. It was called, see if I can see it from my chair here. Lighthouse Point. And I made a card with it. I haven't used it a lot because I just have so many that sometimes I can't use all of them. You like the fact that you won. So when we make masculine cards, let's keep in mind who we're sending it to. We could always do it in their favorite colors. I mean, we have so many different colors, whether they're earth tones or if they're into the bright colors, the muted tones. I think that the in colors for this year are going to be really good for masculine cards, especially when it comes time for the fall. And we can do leaves and things with those colors. Good morning, Cindy. I'm so glad that you came and joined us. So other than Beverly, I know Beverly, I didn't send you a catalog. I have some catalogs ordered and they should be here within the next week, and then I'll send you a catalog. So before I show you my little demonstration so that I don't have to move the camera around quite so much, what did you all think about the new catalog now that you've gotten it and you've seen it? Let me know what you think about it. You know, Cherie, I don't know if there are. Yes, Dorothy Wincostella's any card, whether it's masculine or not. I personally don't want to give a whole lot of glitz to a masculine card, but she does. Every card she makes has Winkostella. She's very sad that right now she can't order Winkostella. Let me look and see in the embossing folder section if they have any hybrid. The excuse me, the only two hybrid embossing folders that I see in the new catalog is the Sweet Citrus and the Tree Ring hybrid, and those are both found on page 169 of your new catalog. Okay, so you've all got your new catalogs. The embossing folders, Cherie, they start on page 168 in the catalog. Okay, so the only two hybrid that I am seeing are the sweet citrus and the 3 rings hybrid. And the 3 rings looks like wood slats. So you could emboss something that looks like wood, tree rings and things. So I hope that answers your question, Cherie. Okay. So Cindy, you think the catalog is great. I had one of my customers say that she wasn't very impressed with the catalog. She doesn't do cutesy cards, and she thinks that there's more cutesy card stamps. You missed what, Cherie? I'm not following. I missed it. I have the 3 rings. What did you miss, Cherie? Anyway, this client or this customer of mine said that she's more into the fancy types of stamps and she doesn't like the cutesy. And so she thinks that the catalog is more cutesy than it is elegant cards. I had told her that I hadn't really had a chance to sit and just like study this book and study this catalog. Everything has been, oh, that's okay. It's all the way in the back, so it's kind of like hard to find that embossing, the embossing folders. I can tell you that on page 15, 14 and 15 of the catalog, that suite of products should be arriving. I think that's going to be a really fun set to work with for birthdays, and I think it can work for both masculine, feminine, and kids cards. So if you have your catalogs, get it out, and if there's a favorite stamp set that you found, let me know what it is, because I'm always interested to know what you guys like, so that, because it may be an overlooked stamp set for me. There's a lot of times when I'm looking through the catalog and I go through it and I highlight which ones I want and which ones I've gotten. There might be a hidden gem that I'm totally missing, but somebody else is like, oh, wow, I can't live without that stamp set. So let me know what it is, because then that way it helps me to know possibly what stamp sets I need to purchase to demonstrate for you guys, or if you want to see it demonstrated before you get it. Last year they came out with the waterfall stamp set, and then they had exclusive dies in the fall. I absolutely loved it, except I didn't use it but one time. It was a little bit difficult to put all of the pieces together. I mean, it was a multi-stamp set where you had to kind of build up that waterfall. It turned out really fabulous, but is it a stamp that I would purchase again? Probably not. But when I seen it, it was like, it was a must-have. So there is, I will tell you on page 19, I am getting that suite or that bundle. Okay, so Cherie's got 2 marked. Crafting with You. Yes, that's a fabulous set. And then, and The Beauty of the Deep on page 112. Let me look at that one. So was there not many sets, Cherie, that you liked? Or was that just your first picks as you went through the catalog? I know that the Waves of Inspiration is a very nice set. I have it. I haven't done a whole lot with it. I'm glad that it's kind of carrying over. That's going to give me an opportunity to use that set in our classes, or those are your first picks. Okay, very good. Cindy, what about you? What was your first picks when you first seen the catalog? I do know that I'm really liking on, if you look on page 145, where the tools are, they have added the Hey Chuck. Oh yes. Hey Chuck, let me tell you, Cindy, that is a stamp set that is definitely on my radar. A couple of reasons. Hey Chuck, that's my husband. And they're chickens, and they're funny chickens. And so they can be used for masculine, feminine. You could even make them into funny kids cards for birthdays. Um, but if you look at number 9 on the catalog on page 145, that is interchangeable tips for your take your pick tool. It has a hobby blade, another pickup tip, and a rotary perforating tip, which to me, that rotary perforating is going to be kind of cool because you could make a bookmark card, or you could make any kind of card that you'd want that recipient to tear off and keep a portion of it. Then you would use that tool to make that perforation, which is really kind of cool. Okay. What'd y'all think about the designer series paper? Any comments or any thoughts on that? The designer series paper all starts on page 127 with that the specialty papers. Time for a drink of coffee. Yes, Dorothy always bursts out in laughter when she sees the Hey Chick, and she thinks of Cindy. Or I mean, Hey Chuck, not Hey Chick. That was the other sets that they had. So y'all with me on page 127? I'm going to do a paper share. However, I think I might not. We did have the dazzling paper like we had before, and it was a freebie in a celebration catalog. Okay, so Cindy, you have mixed feelings on the paper. Which paper do you have mixed feelings on? I used the Country Inn yesterday, and I have to tell you, I think that is, I haven't seen much of the other ones, but I love the Countryside Inn, and I love the daisies. Dorothy wants to get the space paper because she thinks it's going to be cool to work with that shimmer iridescent paper. That Earth and Elegance, I don't think that the catalog is doing that justice. That's another one of those, I have to see it in person. The inked botanicals, I think, is another one that is going to be once you see it in person, it might be a wow, I really like that one. The Let's Go Fishing, that I'm definitely going to get. Chuck likes to fish, and I know a lot of other fishermen that I can do cards with. The Le Shops, I don't know. I'm not so sure about those, but I think that's another one that might have to be seen in person to use the designer paper as the wow factor. Dorothy's not sure about the earthy paper. One thing about Stampin' Up that I do like, and I really do enjoy this about them, is that they do have whatever papers they come out with, the designer series paper, they match and coordinate with all of our cardstock and our inks. So to me, when you can find a beautiful piece of DSP paper, like I used yesterday, that Countryside Inn, and I think I put it away, the paper itself can be the whole focal point of your card. Don't you all agree? So it doesn't take a whole lot. You can do a card based on just that designer series paper, and the card can be a wow card, add a little bit of embellishments. So I think that, even with the fishing paper, you wouldn't necessarily have to have the stamp set, but that paper is masculine enough that you could do, you could make a card like this using that masculine paper, for this part right here, and then doing a tag, um, to say your greeting. Okay. You could use the masculine paper like I did the designer series paper from last year, the in colors, because that's what I used on this card. So the paper itself, I think sometimes it's really busy, especially if it's big print. But then I take that big print and I think, okay, I'm going to make that whole piece of paper my focal point. So that's why I suggest, if you're not sure whether you're going to like a paper pack, join the paper share. That way you get a taste of the paper because you get a front and a back side, um, of all of the designer series paper. And if you don't like one side, perhaps you'll like the other side. Um, Masterfully made. I have to find that one. Yes, Cindy. The masterfully made is another one that I think is going to be a, wow paper that you can just use for the whole focal point of a card, with a greeting. So I think that's going to be another one. The only one, and I'm going to have some, I want some insight from those that have joined my paper shares before. You're not seeing Cindy's comments. Cindy is on YouTube, so you may not see her comments, Cherie, unless you're on YouTube. I'm broadcasting to both platforms, but her comments are just showing up on YouTube. At least that's what I can see. I can see all comments because I'm going through both of them. But I would like some thought on that Zoo Crew designer paper. Um, that's not me. That is not a paper. Um, you can't find me on Facebook. It's on my page. Cindy, if you just go out to Susie Q Stamping on my normal Facebook page, you should be able to refresh that screen and then see me on Facebook. Um, so give me your thoughts on that Zoo Crew paper, okay? Because I may or may not use that in my paper shares. If a lot of people say, yeah, I want to see it, I want to try it, um, I'm just not, I'm not feeling it, okay? I do have the hippo set, but it's discontinuing. Um, but I don't like paw prints. Um, I'm not into the dinosaurs, and I definitely would probably not get that stamp set that would go with it. So that's why the Zoo Crew is one that is, I'm not so sure I'm going to include that. Um, so I do want input. I know Cherie and Cindy have both done my paper shares in the past, and I want to be able to give you things that you really like. So if I get a thumbs down on the Zoo Crew, we're not going to include that. I would rather include, the in color papers for the paper share because I think those are more, versatile to use. I would rather substitute the Zoo Crew paper for, okay, so Cherie, you'd like it on the paper share? Okay. That's what I'm looking for because it's like, okay, if I end up with extra paper that I may not use, then you all know me. You may get it as a prize, because that's kind of what I do with some of the paper that's not talking to me. then you get it free. But I think I am going to include some of the specialty paper in our paper share so that it may increase the cost, but you are getting some of that specialty paper to see if you like the textures and things on it. We can do that, Cherie, because somebody else may like it. I mean, that's what this is all about. It's like, while I may not like something, you guys may love it. And I want to please you guys. So I can always deal with things. So overall, then, what do you think about the catalog? I mean, I have seen on the demonstrator Facebook pages and stuff, some people are just very disappointed in the color of it on the cover. And it's like, I'm not really disappointed. It shows the new colors, the refreshed colors. I love the lemon lolly. It's a very vibrant yellow. I love the bubble bath. That's the pink. The moody mauve. I'm glad that they brought Misty Moonlight. If I get the zoo dudes, I could probably force myself out of my crew box. Very good joking, Audrey or Dorothy. How many of you, and this is just a question, how many of you, your catalogs came with the corner bent? Okay, mine did. Dorothy's did. I haven't looked at Pat's. I think hers did. I think that was something that happened at the printers. I don't think that happened with Stampin' Up. Yours was fine, good, Cherie. Then maybe waiting longer. You got a good one. You know, as a demonstrator, I don't like to complain about the company. I love the company. I love their customer service. I've always gotten fabulous feedback and help when I call customer service and get answers to my questions. And I hear all these demonstrators are out there on the demonstrator website just griping and complaining. And it's like, get over it. You know, I've never seen a company that gives another product to you free if you call them and say, hey, I got a defective punch. They don't even want you to send the punch back. Okay. They just send you another one. So anyway, that's my rant on other demonstrators bashing the company. I don't like to hear that. And I don't even like to read their comments. Okay. So you think it's a postal problem, you know, and I think sometimes that it is, but there was a lot of demonstrators that said that they got catalogs even in a box that had that bent corner. And I think that is the printers, because I can't say this for sure because I don't know, but I don't think that Stampin' Up! Prints their own catalogs. Okay. I think it goes to a printer. Yeah. You know, Cherie, it's kind of like, can you still use the product? Yes. Is it a little damaged? Yes. Is it something to totally complain about? If it's major, yes. But if it's something that's just, okay, I can live with this, I'm not going to complain about it. So let's go, because I am keeping a log. And last time you all wanted tips on organizing. I'm still working on that. To see fun folds, I'm working on that. Uses for the ink refills. My Tuesday tip this time was using ink refills and hand sanitizer to do the smush technique. The baby wipe technique, masculine cards, and how to use the Stampin' Write markers. So what are some things that you would like to see me demonstrate? teach, explain. We're going to go over how to use the Stampin' Write markers today when I switch my camera down. Okay, so let me know kind of what some other things are. You've had a couple weeks to think about it, what you'd like to see done. I want to grow my business, but I want to please my customers, and I hope I'm doing that. I hope I'm giving you, I've got a sneeze coming on. I hope I'm giving you that customer service. Excuse me. I'm hoping that I give you that service that you're expecting from your demonstrator. Because that's my ultimate goal, is to be a great demonstrator to the customers that I have. Thank you, Cherie. I appreciate that compliment. I just, like I said, I am just trying to grow, but at the same time, making sure that my root customers stay satisfied, because you all have made my business grow in the last couple of years. And without you all, I wouldn't be here. So, okay, I am going to turn my camera around so that I can show you how to do the Stampin' Write markers. So give me just a second. My screen is going to go black so that you can, I can flip my camera and you don't see my messy room yet. Hold on. Just takes me a little while. I have to unscrew it and turn it back around so that things are not upside down. Hopefully I'm doing this all right. There you go. All right, let's see how we look. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. My computer's in the way, but that's all right. We're going to turn it down a little bit more here. All right, so I just picked a set. I no rhyme or reason. I just picked it because I wanted kind of some simple sets to show you. So this is what I did this morning real quick before we got online. How we use the Stampin' Write markers. And again, I want to tell you the Stampin' Write markers. So they're the little skinny ones, okay? And I know that they have come out with a different nub tip. I haven't seen them because I haven't gotten my order yet for the Stampin' Write markers. I don't find myself using these as often as I used to. I can't blend as well with these, but they do serve a really good purpose. I used to always sign my cards with the same ink that I used inside for my stamping. So we're going to start with the spoon from the Speedy Recovery set, which is retiring, and I don't even know if it's still in. The inventory update sheet is so, it changes by the hour. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this color here, which is Melon Mambo, and I'm going to take the brush tip, okay? So they have two tips. I'm going to take the brush tip, and I am going to just color over those little hearts that are coming out of the spoon, okay? So I've covered those with my Melon Mambo, and I am going to take the brush tip of Smoky Slate. And this is an old Smoky Slate one. I probably need to replace it. I mean, I think I've had this since way back in probably 2016, 17, something like that. So it's not going to be a real dark. But I'm just kind of going over and coloring that a couple of times. This is where that huffing technique comes in, where you huff on your stamp to get it moistened again. So we're going to go on this side, and then you stamp it. And that's what you get, okay? Now, I did not do a great job of getting all of my little hearts colored because I was away from it. I wasn't up right close. I need to be right on top of things to see. And like I said, the smoky slate is really light, but we're going to do it with another set or another stamp. And you do want to always clean those off just like you do your other stamps. And you can use these on your photopolymer as well, ladies. So let me show you how to do a greeting with it. All right, so this time I'm going to take the brush tip point again. And to me, the brush tip is really easier than the bullet tip to use when you're doing this technique. And I'm just going to rub that over my words that I want colored in garden green. All right, so I'm using garden green on this one. And you want to make sure that you get down inside those little teeny tiny parts of the stamp. Oh, I'm going to do the second or the third words. And so this is where it takes a little practice and it takes time because you do want to make sure that you get a good coverage of your stamp. Now I'm going to take that Melon Mambo again and I'm going to color in the middle section of my words. So this is one of the things that, and like I said, I don't do this often enough, but it is a cool technique, especially with your greeting stamps, because you don't have to mask it off and then stamp it the different times. You can color them. Huff makes it really hard when you have COPD to huff. And then you stamp. And voila, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I have a greeting in two different colors. I could have gone a little bit darker on my Y. You can't really tell on the camera. But that's how you can use the Stampin' Write markers, is you can do that. Now, another way that you can use it is, let's try with this. Let's see. Let me do, because it's called a thumping technique. And for this one, you would probably want to use like colors or something, but we're going to do it with the, let's do it with the Kleenex box because it's big. All right, so I'm going to color the whole thing in my light color, which is the smoky slate. So I'm just going to color the whole Kleenex box. And sometimes it's better to go just in one direction, just slightly picking up your brush. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of outline where those Kleenexes are coming up out of that box. And I'm going over that several times since this is a light pen. Just kind of really making sure that I've got good coverage. Now I'm going to do the thumping technique. And I'm going to come in with that Melon Mambo. And I'm going to take the brush tip again. And all I'm going to do is pounce it around my stamp. This works really well like with floral stamps and such. And I'm going to huff it again. And then I'm going to stamp it. Okay, so you kind of get the drift. Now, I didn't thump it really good. And I did use a Stampin' Write that's probably really low on ink. But that's what, and you can just thump it in not any, whoops, that's the wrong brush tip, or the wrong tip. You can just kind of brush it, thump it around to make a design on your, so you have to have a particular stamp set. or a stamp to do that thumping with. It looks good with, see, you can't even see my Kleenexes anymore, with flowers. If you want to give a two-tone flower look. Okay. All right. I want to try something here, ladies, real quick. I want to see if I can share my screen with you. Let me hit present. Share my screen. I don't have two monitors, so I'm going to share my screen, and I am going to share this. All right. So this is the color revamp, and this is for your color coach. So I can put this out there, and you can print it off. I would suggest like laminating it and cutting off the parts, the different colors, and then you would have it, and it tells you the main color. So here is Real Red, then there's Coastal Cabana, and Old Olive. So those three colors are good to coordinate together. This is really handy if you're color challenged like me. Sometimes I have a hard time matching colors, and this particular thing helps you kind of go outside your box. Let me see now. Mango Melody is no longer in. It's being discontinued. So this will be updated after the color revamp. Even though this says color revamping. So is So Saffron is going out, and Pear Pizzazz. But it's still a good reference. Let me go all the way down here and see. I don't know. They've added Balmy Blue. I'll scroll a little bit slower, ladies. They used to have them with the in colors too, and they don't. I may have to go back out and find that. But were you all able to see that? Okay, so Cherie, I'm going to post a link to that on my Facebook page that you can go. Well, what I'll do is I will post it out there on my, there'll be a link that you can click to, because I will save that in my files that I share on Google Drive, like I share my PDFs. So I will send that. I will put that there on there for you that you can download it. But it's a great tool, and they used to sell them, and then they would update them. But they're not doing that anymore, and I'm sure that it's because of the cost. I mean, when you start getting into printing colored things, the cost of it goes up. So I will post a link to that, and then when it gets refreshed, which I'm sure that it will be with the in colors. Did you save our... Yes, I do have all of our addresses, and I can send out another copy. In fact, I will do that. Let me make a note that when I send out the newsletter, I will send a copy of the addresses. Probably what I'll do is I will send that just to the club members when I send out the host code, which I'm going to do this weekend. So that way it's not available to everybody that's on my email list, because they don't need to know personal information about all my customers. So I can do that. My assistant needs to help remind me, but I do have a note of that. Okay. So any other questions, comments, anything else you want to discuss? I'm going to flip my camera back around, so hang on a minute. I'm always afraid I'm going to break my camera if I do it wrong. and then my husband would shoot me. Okay, there, I did it. Oh, Cindy, I love my business. I really do. So, and I appreciate all of you guys. I really, really do. I appreciate you guys that are faithful. You come and watch me on Thursdays. You watch the replays on Tuesdays. And I have not given up on the idea of our technique book. I'm just trying to figure out the logistics before I post a whole lot of stuff. But I do know that once I get all those logistics done, then I'm going to go back and include all those techniques that I've done previously the last couple of weeks. Oh, Dorothy, you don't think he's going to shoot me? No, probably not. But I do know that you're going to provide your own 3-ring binder, your own page protectors, because that's going to keep the cost down. So basically what you're going to be paying me for is my time in creating the PDFs and the layout and the doing the tutorials on how to do the techniques. Okay. And I think I'm probably going to start doing one for our fun folds. So you could have it in the same notebook. I will provide the dividers that you can print off for it. I figure it, unless someone does not have a printer, then I'm going to send a PDF. If you need it printed for you, then I'll charge you for that, the cost of the printing. Okay, so let me ask you on that note, let me ask you, what would something like that be worth to you? I always have trouble figuring out my cost because I don't think that my time is worth much. I know that sounds silly, right? I mean, I spend most of my days and evenings in my studio. It's my happy place. So when I'm in here creating so that I can share things with others, that makes me extremely happy. What doesn't make me happy is when I mess up on a card and I have to try it 4 or 5 times. So I always want to know kind of like, what is that cost? What is it worth to you as a customer to have that? I've seen different demonstrators doing this. They do it in a different way, but you still pay for the sheets. But theirs you have to put into the Stampin' Up! Photo album, which, while it's not expensive, it's only $10. But the sleeves, the photo sleeves, she has you cut apart the paper and then you put them in those sleeves, and the sleeves aren't all uniformed and you have to kind of finagle it and things like that. So that's why I thought, just a 3-ring binder. And I would send you the PDFs every month on what they are, and then you can try the technique. And unless it's a fun fold card, what I would do is I would just do the technique kind of like, let's see if I've got one to show you. Kind of like, not that. Okay, so I think I've got 1 or 2 left. I showed you the cards that I made this week with the smoosh technique with the hand sanitizer and ink. Okay, so this is what it started out, and you can't really tell what colors it is with my print or with my camera and stuff, but it was I believe it was Bermuda Bay and Sweet Sorbet. Well, then what I did once I had it all done, then I just stamped my image and die cut it. And over here on these two, I just used the die and cut those images. And then I made the card with it. Okay. So here's another one. So what I would suggest is doing it and then doing a second one and making a card, or just making a card front with this, and it'll give you what you used. And there'll be a place for you to use notes. Like this one here, I believe I used, it was either Orchid Oasis or Starry Sky and Daffodil Delight. All right. So I would put in my notes Daffodil Delight and Orchid Oasis. So I would know to get this color combination. That's what I would do. So I should try it for 1 month and see how it goes. Okay, Cherie, I will certainly do that. This was just a try thing where I just put it with a block. Wasn't too fabulous. I wasn't too thrilled with that one, but I thought I would show it to you. It does give it kind of, if you wanted to do like an inchy card and you wanted to cut out a whole bunch of squares, you know, like these squares here in the corner, that's kind of a cool effect where it didn't pick up a whole lot of ink. Okay. So anyway, oh, and I did find out in doing this, I never would have thought to put Parakeet Party with Lemon Lime Twist. Never in my wildest dreams. But I stamped my flower. Oh, you're definitely, maybe if I hold it down. I stamped the flower off in the Parakeet Party. And then for the detail, I used the Lemon Lime Twist. And it made a very pretty two-tone green. Those were two colors that were not even on my radar to use. Okay. And then this was just, I was going to stamp my greeting on this, but sometimes you have to use that stays on ink. And I don't know. I don't personally like stays on because it's messy and it messes up your photopolymer stamps. No matter how quick you clean them, you have to use a special cleaner and all that stuff. And I just don't have time for that. So I did it with my Memento Black and just let it dry. Because glossy paper can be kind of finicky on what you can stamp on it. But you don't have to stamp anything like the cards I made. I just used the background as my focal point and then put flowers on it that I stamped. Oh, I used Pretty Peacock and Sweet Sorbet. That's what I used. Thank you, Dorothy. So, all right. Well, I am going to be working on more of the logistics. So hopefully I will have that information out in a newsletter to you. And yeah, I am going to just try it for a month and see how many people want those. You might get enough information that I give to you free when I do the techniques. I'm not, like I said, go out and Google TX Stampin' Sharon. She does a technique book. I don't know. It does take time to write up tutorials. I know that. So, anyway, there was something else I was going to just mention to you. Oh, well, it slipped my mind. I'll think of it and write it down and make a note of it for the next time. Our next coffee and chat will be held on, look at my calendar here, get to the right month. Okay, so we're doing it on the 2nd and the last. So it will be May 12th will be our next coffee and chat. And then on May 26th. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. I just remembered. So I've given the Mystery Monday a chance. I've tried it for a couple of months. I don't have a lot of interaction. I was really hoping that not only would I have my normal customers, which a lot of you do attend, but that I would be able to reach out and get more people. But that hasn't happened. And I know they say, well, give it a chance and you have to do it for at least this long and on all that. I don't have time to do that. So I would much rather on a Monday night, once a month, get together and do something else with you guys. So if you think of something that we can do virtually as a group. Not necessarily on Zoom, because a lot of times with Zoom, I'd have to invite people. I don't want trolls in my Zoom room, okay? But the whole point of me doing more videos is to get my name out there to the world. Even my blog. I've been doing my blog now for almost, let's see, a little over a year, and probably about a year and a half now. And I don't have very many people visiting my blog, but they keep saying, well, just give it time, give it time. I'm not a patient person. I like instant gratification results. I want people to see things. I missed the blog hop this month for some reason. I was thinking that it was going to be on the 17th, and it wasn't. It was on the 10th. So I have until the second Monday to make my thank you cards. So I'll be working on those, and I already have a really sweet idea. I think that you guys will like those. Okay. So anything else that you ladies want to interject here? Because I don't want to be the only one talking. I mean, I know I'm the only one talking. You guys are typing, but I don't want to be the only one in the conversation. I'm going to give you a few minutes and I'm going to be quiet. Hard to believe, huh? I'll drink my coffee. Now, I know you all have. You feel brain dead today, Cindy. Probably so. You're getting ready to start planting, aren't you? Yes, Beverly, that's fine. Go ahead and call me at 11:30. That's awesome. And yes, send me information about Nathaniel's surgery. How old is that young man? You're working on it, Cindy. I know. I don't know when Chuck's going to plant ours. I mean, he is like busy with VFW, Trails Life. Um, I don't know when he's going to get him done. So you're rebuilding your raised beds. Oh, what a project. Yeah, that's a big undertaking right here at planting season. I know Dorothy and I got out and mowed on Wednesday. I'm glad that I did. It was a little chilly. I had to wear a sweatshirt the first part of my mowing time, and then I got too hot. I can't wait until it's at least like 75 when I mow, because then at least I'm able to get a suntan, right? Because I'm looking really pale. Not as pale as Audrey, but I'm pale. In his early 30s, okay. Does he have a family, Beverly? We need to keep him in our prayers. Your berry beds. Ooh, what kind of berries are you going to get? I love blackberries and raspberries and strawberries and all that. Oh, well, Dorothy, I'm afraid, honey, that you go fast enough on your lawnmower and hit enough trees. I don't know how that would work out if you had one that went faster. Sorry. We used to have blackberries. Chuck's brilliant idea. Planted a blackberry briar in the back field behind my mom's house. Great idea. Worked well for the first year or so. And then life happened, and oh my, those briars got so out of hand that we couldn't mow like half the back field because these briars were like had overtaken everything. So we had somebody come in and brush hog them all down, and we burned them. I still see some shoots coming up now and then, but I mean, they did really well, but they were so thick, I couldn't get in there to pick them. He had he had the idea that he was going to make rows. Well, it didn't happen. And like I said, life happens. The year's not over with yet, Dorothy. You've only mowed one time. So You know, the year's not over with, so I know that between now and the end of summer, you will hit a tree. I know you will. Oh, Cindy, I would pay you for some of those berries that you're planting. I love all of those. We have there is some blackberries back in the backfield that as I mow, I get scratched all the time. And when I mow back there, I'm always watching for them, but they don't get a lot of water unless Mother Nature decides to pour rain on them. So, okay, well, ladies, start getting your questions ready. Start making a list of questions or things that you want to discuss or things that you want me to show. Um, Send me your favorite stamp sets that you found in the catalog. Um, I am getting really excited. You know, ladies, because I thought, oh, I'm going to plan ahead and I'm going to get all 5 of my cards made. Yeah, I've seen some really fantastic cards and I'm thinking about changing them. I don't know. Um, my office manager, assistant, she said, no, you can't change them. It's like, but I really want to. So I don't know. We might have a little bit of a discussion over that. If it doesn't cost any more, then I don't need to worry about it. But, well, ladies, I am going to sign off. I have some things to get prepared. Tonight, I am going to go to dinner with some of my classmates, catch up on some lives of others that I haven't seen in probably close to 35 years. And then tomorrow night's my alumni dinner. So that's exciting and fun. This will be my first time attending by myself. I'm not going to have my sidekick, Cindy, with me. She's unable to attend because she's got her granddaughter and great grandbaby coming to visit. So anyway, I enjoy this too, ladies. It's just kind of a, you know, let's just sit back, relax, and converse about things. But I need you all to converse with me back, even though it's typing. Okay? Because I can answer questions, but I want to know what you guys want. That's my main point in all of this. Okay? What are we charging or what are we changing, Dorothy? I'm not sure yet. There's one of the my basic simple card that I may make into a stepped up card. And it won't be hard to change that. But anyway. All right, ladies, until Tuesday, I have our tip technique. It will be pre-recorded because that is nail redo day. And then next week's 3 on Thursday. My assistant really needs to get my calendar updated because I look to that wall and it's not updated. Let's see. And then our next coffee and chat will be May 12th. And if 10 o'clock as we get into the summer, because I know that we get outside in the mornings, if 10 doesn't work, we can make tea and chat and it can be after dinner. So give me your feedback on that too, ladies, because it does not have to be at 10 o'clock on Fridays. It can be anytime at night. Okay. So give me your feedback on that because I know that as summer approaches, I know that Dorothy and I usually get out in the mornings and we mow, and then when it's really nice and hot, then we go see our Dr. Poole, and he gives us great therapy throughout the summer. We might have to have a Dr. Poole party. So, all right, ladies, I have enjoyed talking with all of you, getting some new ideas. A clickable link for your email. I thought there was, Cherie. I have a link there that says sign up, and then it comes through to me for somebody to want to sign up for my emails. And like I said, I think I've had a couple. Right in the very beginning, I had a couple. So, okay. Yeah. Oh, you mean to sign up for my blog? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Well, I usually list my blog address, but I don't have a link for it, but I can embed a link, I think. At least I can create a link that you can, a clickable link that you can click on. Okay, now I understand, Cherie. Now I understand. I know sometimes typing stuff is like really hard because you're asking a question and I'm maybe not bright enough to understand and read between the lines for all of it. So yes, I will put that down, that in my emails, I will add a link for my blog. I need to do some investigating, and every time they have a training on this that this one gal does for my DBWS, which is my website for Stampin' Up, there is so much that I could do out there. If y'all go out there, I have posted a few of the cards that we've made. So, yeah, I just lost my train of thought. And it does have my calendar. I do need to update it with my coffee and chats and stuff. Clickable link. Okay. All right. So, ladies, I am so thrilled that you spent an hour of your precious time with me today. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a great weekend. I hope it stays nice weather and we don't get any rain. I am looking forward to the hot weather. I know some of you guys aren't, but I like to get out and mow when it's hot so that I can get my suntan on. All right. Until the next time, you all stay awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. We'll see y'all later. Bye.